This is Mr. Trotta. Welcome to Monday's lesson. Let's get started with our lesson objective.
We interrupt this lesson for today's important lesson objective. We interrupt this lesson for today's important lesson objective.
We're going to be working with order of operations today and a little bit most of this week. So when we talk about the order of operations, that is going to be PEMDAS. And PEMDAS, I'll write that right over here, is going to be our P, E, M, D, A, and S. That got smaller as I went along. P is going to be short for our parentheses. So when we see parentheses in a math equation, that means we're going to want to solve everything that's in those parentheses first. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be exponents. Make that a little nicer. And I'll use an example here. When we have exponents, that's going to be when we have a number like x to the second power. Parentheses, that's going to be our parentheses. The next example or word we're going to have here is going to be our M, which is multiplication. And is also going to be our division. And hopefully you can guess what the next two are going to be. That's going to be our addition. I'll just write add and subtract. So when we see those, I'll put those over in green. When we see multiplication, that's usually going to look like the multiplication symbol that you've seen, but it's also going to look sometimes just like a dot. And sometimes if I have to type this into Schoology, you might see something that almost looks like an asterisk, like that. Division, you're usually going to see the symbol that looks like a division symbol, or sometimes you might just see a slash with one number written over another. So sometimes if I have like 1/2, or I can have 4/2. All those ways that division can look. Addition will always look like an addition symbol. Subtraction will always look like a subtraction symbol. So we're going to see this a lot. In fact, I'm going to copy this so that I can show this to you guys again if need be. Copy that. All right, let's jump into the first example that I have for you guys today. Let's write down there. So when we're solving this problem, first thing we're going to do is everything in the parentheses. So what we have in the parentheses is going to be our 6 divided by 3. Typically, you'd want to solve this just by going over from left to right. However, in this case, we want to do everything in the parentheses first, and then we can work on our exponents, our multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So if I have 6 divided by 3 first, that's going to give us an answer of 2. And then I'm just going to bring down everything I didn't use before. That's going to be my 5, and it's going to be my minus symbol. And now I'm left with 5 minus 2, and that gives me an answer of 3. Now if you didn't follow the parentheses, what you might see is try to do 5 minus 6 first, which gives us an answer of a negative number, which is a little bit strange in these types of equations. And then if we have to divide this by 3, we get our answer of negative 1/3, which is not right. Typically, we're going to see all whole numbers, and that's why I'm going to try and keep all the examples and make it a little bit easier for you guys. Before we go to the next example, it's time for a bad joke, but I'm not going to deliver the bad joke today. I've got somebody else doing it. So here you go.
What do mermaids wash their fins with? Tide.
The first part was funnier.
All right, and we're back. All right, and we're back with example number 2. I want to evaluate this equation. So again, I'm going to stick with parentheses. So what I have in parentheses here is my 8 minus 2. So I'm going to solve that first. So if I have 8 minus 2, I get an answer of 6. And then I can bring down everything I did not use before, which is my 24 and my divided by symbol. And now I'm left with just 24 divided by 6, which gives me an answer of 4. All right, I'd like you to try one on your own. So this is the equation. Why don't you try this problem now? All right, so what you should have done in this problem is to solve this part here first. 6 divided by 3, you're going to solve that first. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then I'm going to bring down the 4 and the minus, and now I have the equation 4 minus 2, and 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Next type of example that we're going to see is going to be order of operations. We don't necessarily have that parentheses in there. So if I'm going to put this in here, we're still just going to work right through all of these. So if I don't have parentheses, the next thing I get to do is go right down to exponents. Now for these types of problems, we're not going to have any exponents in there, but we are going to have our multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now one of the things I want to make a note of is when we're doing multiplication and division, these are kind of linked together, just like addition and subtraction are linked together. And the reason we say that is because I want to do all the parentheses first. When I'm done, then I can take care of all the exponents first. That's going to be in order from left all the way to right. When I do the multiplication and division, that's also going to be all the multiplication and division from left to right. So if I have a division that comes before the multiplication, I can do that as long as I'm working from left to right. Same with addition and subtraction. I can do, if I have an example here of 4 minus 3 plus 2, I'm going to do all the addition and subtraction from left to right. So that means I'm going to do the 4 minus 3 first and then add 2. Doesn't mean I have to do the 3 plus 2 first and then do the 4 minus part. So let's stick with the problem that we have here. For this example, 37 minus 4 times 5. Again, all the multiplication and division are going to come first. So here's my multiplication, 4 times 5, so that's what I would do first. So 4 times 5, get an answer of 20. I'm going to bring down everything I did not use, 37 and minus, and now I can do this next part. And you may need to rewrite this so that it looks like 37, 20, and then do your subtraction. 7 minus 0, 7, 3 minus 2, 1, and 17 is our answer. Before we go on to the next example, another bad joke from our guest.
What did the fried rice say to the shrimp?
Fry your rice.
Don't walk away from me.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
And we're back now with another example. These are going to start to look kind of similar. I want to do all the multiplication division from left to right. So that means I'm going to do the 5 minus 6 part first. So 5 times 6, I get an answer of 30. And then I'm going to bring down what I did not use, which is my 41 minus. 41 minus 30, I'm going to rewrite that again, top over bottom. I can do my 1 minus 0 first with 1. 4 minus 3 is 1, and 11 is our answer. All right, now it's time for you to do one on your own. So why don't you try this one now? Okay, let's go over our answer here. 26 minus 3 times 5. The multiplication comes before we do addition and subtraction, so I'll underline that. 3 times 5, I get an answer of 15. And I can bring down everything I didn't use, which is my 26 minus. And then I'm going to rewrite this in a way that makes it a little bit easier to work with. 26 minus 15. 6 minus 5 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, and we get an answer of 11 again. So that's all the problems that you're going to have to do today. There's going to be 6 of them, so 3 of 3. Today's secret word, in case you need that, is going to be chair. So make sure you submit that as your first answer. If you have any questions, make sure you stop by office hours. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.